You know what's funny is we didn't make any because for whatever reason we never thought about it, but we should have been like, by the way, all of our future videos don't have endgame spoilers. Because the best Marvel character one came up, and I'm like, well, shoot, now with Endgame that actually changes. It doesn't change it much.
A little bit, at least. Like it makes you feel differently about some of the characters.
No, it just means I could have had more to say about a certain character and the consistency thereof. I mean, I'm still right. I'm still
correct.
I'm pretty confident. Well, again, like I said, it was just because same writers.
Yeah.
You know, that'll do it.
That whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I should get some water. You want any water while this unprofessionally starts?
That would be a great idea.
You know, I can hear you without the headphones.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm sure.
Room temp or
if you have refrigerated.
I bet steal yours if that's the case.
If I have one left in there.
Not, nor do I.
All right, I'll just take room temp then.
No choice for you.
Yeah, it's not like I have any other option.
Gotta keep
hydrated.
Yeah. What's funny is, again, how much we thought these sounded great, and then how much post-production is still needed. Oh my gosh.
Quite a bit.
I had to come up with basically a semi-custom podcast sound, and that took a while. Took way too long, Tyler.
Way too long.
Oh, man. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome to the Blue Eclipse podcast. I am always on here. I am Frank Joseph Hall.
And I'm Tyler Spence.
I think now that you've moved in, you're going to probably eclipse Darius for being on them more.
Oh, most definitely, I'm sure.
I mean, who knows? Maybe your work schedule is going to be too mean to allow you to be on here more.
Maybe, but we'll see. It shouldn't be too bad.
No, I mean, you know, who knows?
Who knows?
I do.
You know? Okay.
So, to Tyler, the reason we're doing this is because, one, the last little bit we were pre-recorded is going to be up next week, so I like to get ahead of the game.
Of course.
You know?
Staying somewhat on
schedule. Yeah, because there's going to be 2 weeks in June where I'm not here, and so I want to pre-record a bunch of stuff, so that way that month is, you know...
covered.
Takes care of itself. Obviously, this is early May, and by the time this video comes out, it'll be mid or late May. So we'll still have a bunch more to film, and we may have a new person joining the podcast.
Yay.
Which kind of leads into today's topic of just... So Tyler, you've been here for a month now. How are you enjoying the rooming situation?
Well, to be fair, I think, you know, considering when I moved back in with my parents, it wasn't on the best of terms or, you know, in like the best situation. Not that I want to delve into that, but...
Yeah, we do not have to go into that per se.
But being back out, especially since I moved out originally when I was 17, right after finishing high school, it feels good to be back out and about, thankfully. You know, it's been pretty good so far, actually.
Yeah. By the way, forgot to mention in the pre-show, you'll notice we're in a completely new setup. That is because at some time later, probably next week, we're going to actually change up the recording studio a little bit. So we're going to move that out into the living room, which is where we are now. And so basically, this wall that you can't really see on my screen, but you can kind of see on Tyler's, that's going to be where like a lot of the games go. And then the studio itself is going to get a remodel. And so we're probably going to be recording here for a while. So this is more of a test run, see how the lighting works out.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the natural light right back here.
Yeah, back here. Well, again, this is why we do it, because then in post-production, it may be completely different than how it looks right now on the camera, because your monitor for that camera sucks. It does not have a white balance.
Yeah. You know, we seem like we're really professionals, but...
oh, no, I know for the fact that I'm the closest to professional and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Like, just to prove it to you, I have a tackle box that has all the SD cards because I'm professional like that. We're not.
I mean, you got At least you got them labeled. That's a good start.
Yes,
you know?
main 1, main 2, all that stuff. We have at the moment 6 different SD cards. Mainly so like I just can be like, well, okay, I need to do the podcast. Which podcast is the SD card? There it is. Cool.
Right. But yeah, back onto the original topic. Being back out is pretty good for me. I definitely, it helps me feel more motivated when I have things that I know I need to take care of, bills, rent to pay, you know, all that other fun stuff. It kind of helps drive me a bit more. Keeps you more focused, I should say.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But yeah,
I enjoy the fact that I basically have. So I mean, let's see. So we both have lived outside of our respective houses at some point in our past. I went to college, and that's how. When you're in college, fun fact, Tyler, you don't always get to choose your roommates.
Oh, I'm aware of that when I moved out originally. Anyway,
you know how much that sucks?
Yeah, it's
especially when the entire apartment smells like weed. Everything is just weed.
I've had
they offer you weed.
I've had quite a few roommates in my time. Some more interesting than others.
Yeah, that's about a good way of stating it always.
Yeah. Not all bad.
Yeah.
Just some different than others, that's for sure.
Yeah. I had someone ask me there because fun fact, we're getting another new so let's just back up this a little bit. So my mom, whose house we're currently presiding in, she is she's not engaged, but she's basically acting like she is.
She's like right there, you know.
She's like already bought the wedding dress and everything, but she's like, Frank, why are you kicking me out of the house? And I'm like, because you're the. So she is moving with her future husband at some point to another place, and she's like, well, you can just have the house, because Tyler and I were actually looking for apartments at one point.
Yes, and realizing that living in Florida in general is
very expensive.
Fairly expensive. Fun fact, if you didn't already know that.
I mean, when I was in Tampa, they could be like $400 to $600, which is pretty good. It
is nowhere near anything like that in Orlando.
No, this is individual lease, mind you. No,
I know. I'm also talking individual lease, like in Orlando.
Yeah, well, I think because USF, they knew that they had a lot of people who would need housing, so they can guarantee lower prices. Though every year, every apartment raised its prices a lot. I just happened to get a cheaper apartment every year.
That's exactly what UCF does. And boy, oh boy, their student housing is expensive.
Yeah, it is. But basically, so we are getting the house. And by we, I mean me, because my name is technically also on the ledger. And then we're going to rent it out. And originally the plan was to wait till my mom left. She's still technically here. She's not here physically right now. She's actually with her boyfriend. And Tyler's actually moved in.
Yes, like you said, about a month ago.
Yeah. Which is not the fall. In case you guys don't understand how time works, he moved in April, which that vlog we are still working on, and I might even delay it a little bit because of the new person moving in. Just do one moving in vlog. Have more content that way. We'll see what happens.
Pad it out a little bit, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it was going to be Tyler just moving in, and then the exact quote was, "No one else until I leave."
Circumstances have changed.
There is another friend of ours who will be joining, and I have told him he is contractually obligated by moving in to help with the YouTube channel via podcast. And the thing that hasn't been announced yet, I mean, it's been pseudo-announced, but not Chore Wars, whenever that gets up.
Chore Wars.
Again, that's something I want to have a few in the can so that we're not scraping by to make one.
Yeah.
We have a few in the can. But I want even more.
We need more. We need more. We need to be ahead of schedule,
like super,
as best
like
as
2 months
possible.
ahead would be nice.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll go into a little bit more at some point on what our future. I'll probably make a video on the future scheduling, because your boy was getting burned out a little bit by doing one every week, but that's to be expected.
Especially when
it was 2 every week, actually.
Yeah, especially with the unfortunate fact that right now he is the only one that is editing, due to experience and also lack of technology on the part of the 2 other members, or at least technology that's suitable for such i.e. I need a PC.
Well, even my computer isn't perfect. Like, it's still lag. I have to basically do the adjustments audio wise and color correction at the end. I have to do all the editing cuts first and then color correct at the end, which if you've ever had to color correct every individual edit, it's not fun. It's not. So
not a good time.
No. And then if you're like, well, let me just add a layer of color correction to the bigger videos, which sometimes I do, that to export takes a while. And that's not fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to probably do shorter form content, some skits here and there. But we'll go more into that at a later point. But anyway, so new guys moving in at the end of the month of this recording, which will be the month this comes out. So May, he'll be moving in more than likely. And so then we'll have 3 people living here. And then once my mother leaves, I get her bed because that's the perks of being the kid.
Yep.
I get the master, and then
We
Darius
get these 2
eventually
rooms stuck in the back of the house,
and then eventually,
all near each other,
literally, it's
sharing
like
walls.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry, that's yours.
Yeah.
Well, for the longest time, it was literally mine. Like, actually, the bedroom you're in used to be where the game room was.
Used to be the old game room.
Yeah.
Like the old game room.
Boy, did it get hot.
Yeah.
When you have 6+ dudes.
And it is not a very large space compared to the game room we play in currently. Definitely
much better.
Yeah.
And then
Cramped.
Ironically, we're changing the game room to now the living room to make it even bigger.
Yeah, it's just progressively getting larger and larger until eventually the whole house is just a game room in itself. And
yes,
we're just living in a constant board game.
Oh, that'd be fun. That would be great. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed that a lot.
But,
oh, yeah. And we might even start doing some board game playthroughs.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe edit them in the style of like Let's Plays and stuff like that. Would be fun. That's not going to be for a little while, though we have the means of doing it, unlike with Forced to Comply, where I thought I could do it. It was much harder. Much harder than I thought.
Yeah.
Fun fact, it's not easy.
Definitely.
So, but yeah, that's why we're kind of taking a break and just putting up just podcasts for a little bit, because that way, it keeps us engaged, makes it, because it's super easy to get out of the loop of something.
Yeah.
And so like if you stop editing, then it's like, well, I guess we're done, because that's basically what happens. It's like 30 days to develop a habit and then 3 days to stop developing that habit.
Yep.
So we're going to keep doing this podcast because it's fun. It's easier to do, I guess. Not really. Even cutting it down to 30 minutes, exporting is still insane.
Yeah.
Because of the audio correction and all of that. Oh, man. Anyway.
But things will get better. Processes will get faster for us.
More people will edit.
More, yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, hopefully I'm the one that's going to be eventually in charge of the podcast, at least. If not,
I have
editing.
ideas for sure that we should probably not talk about on camera, but I have ideas.
Right. Yeah.
Also, you probably have noticed that we stopped doing the 2 podcasts just because more work on my part, and it's easier to just do with a 1.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's good.
I think, to be honest with you, I think the thing I'm most excited for is just is weird. It's not. Mm-hmm. I mean this in the nicest way possible, but getting rid of all the pictures of you all around the house.
Yes, me too. I am not going to go into some of that, but there is a specific picture somewhere in this house that when I had a Bible study over, they saw, and it is a running joke now, and I am not a fan of that.
Well, it's just like it makes it harder for it to feel like it's our place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But,
well, what's funny is like even the apartments I lived in, I very rarely like decorated them in the wall. I mean, the Avengers / Justice League posters that I have that are like just the frame, like the images, outlines of the characters. I had those, and I decorated 1 or 2 rooms with those. That's about the extent I've done.
Yeah, I've in terms of all the places I've lived before, I've never really done much decorating.
Yeah.
Mostly because I never knew how long I was gonna be there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like why spend the time and energy to do this or that when, especially because a lot of the time where I was living, I wasn't often at my own place. Mm-hmm. So just like, it's more like a place to just go back to sleep than it is like my actual room.
Yeah, enjoy. Yeah. Versus here where you're actually doing stuff.
Yeah. Doing things and in here more frequently than I have been any other place.
Yeah, that's so my final year of college, I actually had 3 roommates that I liked. Mm-hmm. One of them being our mutual friend, Lewis. Mm-hmm. One of them being another mutual friend now, Brooks. Mm-hmm. And then Justin. You don't know him.
I did not know Justin.
No. But it was us. And it was nice because I felt like I could actually go out into my living room and like, even if one of them showed up, I don't feel awkward about it. It's like, hey, friend. And then they go and like, we could all just chill out and like,
Yeah.
that's what I want. We're already kind of getting that feeling here where it's just like, oh, hey, Frank's in the living room. I guess I'm in the living room a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
that's
kind of like, oh, I guess we're hanging out now.
yeah, that's what I enjoy that. Also there's like this weird impulse of me for whatever reason. Every so often I like to rearrange furniture. I don't know why.
I don't blame you that much.
I think what was it? My mom went on a trip one time, and so the living room. This is technically divided into a half dining, half living room kind of a situation, and we used to just basically have the couch all the way to this back wall, and it was like sure you could see the TV, but this and that, and then I decided to push it. And basically make a obvious divide where the living room is and where this dining area
I.e.
is.
where you can't see it right now, but there's the couch is literally
on the other side
right
of the cameras.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, literally on the other side. And when she comes back and she's like, "Yeah, it's not bad."
This is acceptable.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually enjoy a little bit of renovating, which is why I'm gonna have a field day with the studio. Just have to figure out how the heck to do what I want to do.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I have the ideas. It's just getting there.
100%. It's that's actually a lot of this is, it's like, obviously everyone can come up with ideas and doing everything else, but it's like actually
Implementing.
Yeah, and actually finally going through things. Like I've had this realization recently, especially when like writing stuff for my own D&D campaign and things like that. I have a really, really, really hard time putting my ideas to paper.
Yeah.
Like actually writing it all out when it's all in my head. So I've been trying to like work on that process of making it easier for myself to actually fully, maybe not so much plan things, but like just put my thoughts to paper.
Yeah.
Or in text of some form, whether it's typing or writing.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think for me, it's just making me actually sit down and write.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, no, and,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is that I don't have any problem sitting down and writing. It's just like when I try to, I never know where to start.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like planning stuff for my D&D game or like wanting to do a bit of the world building. I'm like, I never know where I want to start that writing. So it's like, all right, I have all these really cool ideas, stuff. And
Yeah.
it just kind of
Yeah, I get it.
filters out. Yeah.
No, that's tough. Yeah, I think the toughest part for me in all of this is just like, I want to just do this,
Yeah.
especially with, I think I informed you on like the issues I'm having with my current job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't want to work there right now.
And I don't blame you.
But I need money.
Yeah.
And so like,
It's weird because it's like the opposite situation of me. Whereas in like a year ago today, like where I'm still working at the same place, but the location that I was working at was much worse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only gone up from here. So it's kind of like, it's helpful for me because since I can work more, that means I'm making more money, which is good.
Yeah.
So it's a plus side.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Money is, yeah.
yeah, money's nice to have.
Yeah,
Money's
it'd just be nice to have
cushion.
like a job I enjoy.
Yeah.
And,
I'm starting to come to enjoy it more
that's
because
good.
now that the location that I'm at, the locale that is at this location is a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you were in Pine Hills, so
yeah,
if you know Florida.
if you know Florida, Pine Hills is a absolutely wonderful location. I would never say anything bad about Pine Hills ever. It's fantastic. Great place to be and work and drive all the way out to from where I am.
I might just jokingly in editing put sarcasm warning, like sarcasm alert.
But yeah, now I'm in Ocoee, which is much nicer.
Yeah. Much nicer.
Much nicer.
Oh man. But yeah. It's just
I can't wait for other people to move in and for us to start
doing more stuff.
doing more recording, things like that.
Yeah.
And also just turning the place more into, everyone's place.
Yeah. No, that'll be nice for sure. Definitely enjoy it. I already have, like I said, I already have the studio we want to create. I have a area that was probably going to turn into the editing / meeting room. Because I think once everyone moves in, then we're gonna have those meetings because like meetings are important.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Keep everyone in the loop.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not only that, but it's just generally touching base with everyone, because I imagine the meetings won't just be meetings about this.
Yeah, no, it's also like, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah, how are you doing?
I know we live together,
catching up with each other, making sure to figure out things around the house, things like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the chores will be distributed via Chore Wars.
Exactly. It'll be a good time.
What was it? I talked to Evan, new guy moving in, about whether, like chore, and I was like, oh, yeah, and you don't have to, like, jokingly, we're debating on if we're going to genuinely, he's like, I wouldn't mind genuinely doing it. I'm like, all right. Challenge accepted.
I'm 100% on board with the genuinely doing it.
I think that'd be funny.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
So you'll notice once they come out that the first few are pseudo scripted. I say pseudo because 1, there's no script, and 2, the outcomes are actually genuine.
Yeah, and what's funny about them is that I like that idea, and sort of the same thing we did with the behind the scenes, where the first few episodes, or it comes off as budget.
Very much.
For lack of a better term.
Oh yeah, this is literally one camera.
Yeah, we're
holding.
Yeah, we're literally holding one camera, shot it in like 1 or 2 takes. Like it's very rough.
It's like literally one long video that you just have to edit down.
Yeah, and I think
it'll be fine.
Yeah, and I think especially when we start doing them genuinely, I think we'll. Especially because we have plans for working on vlogs and stuff. I think it'll just get better for all of us. Like I was sitting here thinking today, I'm like, I have all this spare time today. I'm like, I don't know if I want to try like recording myself doing something, like just talking about something or anything like that. At least like messing with the cameras a bit more, because so far it's been you doing all the setup, all the editing.
Yeah, I'll teach you guys about how to do that stuff at some point. Again, it's the fact that our schedules, because of literally where all 4 of us now are working, none of us have consistency in our schedules. Yeah,
because especially with the field of work that most of us are in, that's kind of like when you set yourself up for open availability, they just move
even
your
when it's
schedule
not
around
open
every
availability,
week.
It's still inconsistent.
Oh yeah, it's like, last week I was mainly closing, so I'm going in from like 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. and now all this week I'm going in at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. And it's like.
Or me, where it's like, okay, I have these nights off. I have all of Sunday off. Cool. You're working these days, and now you're working these days, and now you're working these days. And sometimes I would be like, okay, so Saturday's the only day I know I'm always working. And then sometimes I don't even work Saturday. Right. And it's like, well, then what's the point?
Yeah. And especially with the fact that since, you're technically part-time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas,
that's the bigger issue, because it's like sometimes I'll go from 3 days a week where I'm barely making like 19 hours. And now this upcoming week, I'm making 31 for 4 days.
Yeah. Whereas my average week is at least 40, if not more, so it's like on top of that, it's, everyone having varying amounts of hours worked per week. Like for this next upcoming week, it's like my day off is Monday.
Yeah.
And then I'm there Tuesday through Sunday.
Yeah. Now, I think what I'm going to do with Behind the Scenes, the series, is we're going to make it a yearly thing instead of, I was thinking about doing season 2 sometime at the later half of this year, but I think I'd rather put in the prep work to make it look good. We're going to make it a little bigger. I already have a few ideas and that's like, what's nice is the skits are going to fill in. Because there's a skit idea that I told you about that I don't think would fit into the series just because of the pacing I want for this upcoming season.
If it's a skit I'm thinking of, it wouldn't. It
wouldn't fit in, but we can do it as a skit because I'm like, that's a fantastic idea. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
I think in general, especially since a lot of this, especially with the podcasting, getting all this newer equipment, is definitely going to help us out in the long run for some other things as well.
Yeah.
And because we have plans for all kinds of different content and trying to find out what really works for us.
Yeah.
I genuinely really enjoy the podcasts. That's actually kind of my thing.
No, I do too.
I do.
Super, it's just time.
Yeah, it's just time consuming. But
like if we had the ability to do it once a week, we would probably do it like an hour or longer.
Yeah.
Like where we could film every week and get ahead of this game a little bit, but like unfortunately with just our schedules, we have to budget our time
and not only that, but also we still haven't found sort of what sticks for us in terms of our podcast content. Like, most of the time
it's topical.
Like for example, last month was Marvel month, so I think all those podcasts for that month were Marvel based. you know, and it's topical, but like, you know, a lot of podcasts have very much a specific sort of at least general idea that they stick towards. And, you know, I think we're finding ourselves sort of leaning towards just, you know, like you said, topical, but more in sort of the geek culture.
Yeah,
you know,
the nerd stuff.
the nerdy stuff. But, you know, like I'd love to have more podcasts talking about character design in D&D, you know, interesting stories and games that we've played recently, things like that.
Yeah, that'd
you know, it's hard because obviously with all, not only with the varying work schedules, but also us finding time to do those said hobbies.
Yeah,
You know, it's like finally, like especially once I catch up on Game of Thrones, I'd love to have a talk. I'd love to have a talk about some of the later seasons and like how they decide to, especially when they finally end it,
if they dropped the ball or not.
Yeah, exactly. Like how they did, and then even having a whole podcast about who are some of our favorite and least favorite characters.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. Just because
the problem is with all of that stuff is, unfortunately, we have to be smart about how we time some of it. So like we did Marvel Month because Endgame was coming out.
Yeah.
The idea being that hopefully we'd get more traffic, and I think we kind of did. I have to check analytics. Yeah, but like it's ultimately like we have to do content that we enjoy doing, but at the same time we have to do content that gets people to watch.
Oh yeah, and I mean, at least the two things about Game of Thrones that I was talking about, i.e. a podcast talking about how they dealt with the end of the season, and a podcast talking about you know, favorite and least favorite characters. You know, that's something that I would, you know, I'd be like, all right, let's do that around the release of the final episode.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe the Wednesday before, which I don't even know if you'll be here now that I think about it.
Because episode 3 just aired.
Yep. So there's 3 more episodes.
So this Sunday
3 more
is
weeks.
the 4th.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna do some. So this Sunday's the 4th.
So the 5th of
June.
Yeah. No. Sorry. May 5th would be the next episode.
Correct. And then so it's end of May.
Yeah, it would be the 26th. Would be the final episode.
Yeah.
If there's no delay
or anything like that. This podcast is more than likely going out the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have to literally be the next podcast.
Yeah.
And Tyler's only on season 2, guys.
I finished season 2.
He's still only on.
I'm catching up.
So
I plan on having it done. I plan on having finally caught up before the end of this season.
Cool.
So,
I don't know if we'll be able to have again, that's the problem, is because we can't do this full time.
Yeah.
It would have we would have to have time to shoot, record it, and then edit it all before that Wednesday, and to crunch that close would be very difficult. Yeah. We could hypothetically do it the Wednesday after. We'll see. Depends.
If we did it the Wednesday after, it'd be one of those things where I feel like what would happen is that we would watch the final episode together, and then literally set up and record the podcast right after.
We could, and then
it would be intensive for the editing, but if we wanted to have it out that Wednesday. And
see, again, the problem comes to our scheduling. We're lucky enough to know barely a week in advance our scheduling, and that's a huge problem. Yeah.
Well, luckily for me, at least, it's not extremely difficult for me to plan days off if I need to request them and things like that. Yeah. But you know, I haven't gone out of my way to request too many days recently, mostly because I'm going on vacation in July. But you know,
I'm taking 2 weeks off in June, and then another week off in July. But we'll probably still, at the very least, do a vlog. Oh yeah. So it's not a total waste.
Yeah, especially because for Dice Tower Con, I plan on having a hotel room. So I definitely plan on hopefully.
We'll probably do a vlog, post Dice Tower Con vlog. Mm-hmm. See if we can get whoever's going maybe to chime in. Maybe even Sir Pedro himself, the future award-winning board game designer Pedro P. Mendoza.
And you know, and it would be even a lot of fun to catch some of the moments of the board gaming, like just filming. I think I would enjoy just filming I think I would just enjoy filming that convention in general quite a bit, because you know, with us getting into all this stuff, I realized I have a lot of interest in wanting to film things and even like a slight bit of just photography itself, you know, because
film is photography. It's just
yeah,
moving
exactly.
pictures.
But I think you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely something that I've been interested in. So that's why I want to get a little bit more time in with these cameras and things like that and figuring that out.
Yeah.
But, you know, in time. We have a lot of ideas, a lot of things in the woodwork. And for those of you that are around now, hopefully you enjoy all of it.
Yeah.
And you stick around.
I keep looking at like other channels that like, okay, how long did it take him to get there? And it ranges vastly. There's a channel that has like 2 million views that it took them 2 years. And I'm like, that's insane.
I know.
Or 2 million.
I know some channels that I follow that have stuck closely to around the like 10,000 subscriber basis that have been doing this for years.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It's kind of it's all about how you market yourself and, you know, hopping on. I think definitely it's like writing the algorithms and what's trending and making things focus towards what's going on in the world.
But at the same time, it's not that, because if Mr. Beast is any indication, he just straight up started doing random.
Yeah, but his things have always been sort of, I think what it is, it's more of a spectacle than anything else.
But before that, he was just doing like Minecraft videos and stuff like that for like literally 12 years.
Yeah.
And never took off. And then all of a sudden he started counting to 100 million and watching paint dry.
And you know, it's one of those things where it's like the internet finds interest in things that are really strange like that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and now he's pouring lava on stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not, it's so weird.
I think I was scrolling through my Snapchat or whatever, and one of his things, I think it literally said Mr. Beast, and it was like, I'll pay for whatever you can carry.
Yeah, I saw
out
that
of here.
one.
I was like,
that was interesting.
That's an interesting idea.
But if you drop it, you don't get any of it. Yeah, they also went to some weird stores. It was literally like they picked it from out of a hat.
I didn't see the video, so I just saw a screenshot of a dude basically holding like, or I don't know if it was just him, but it was like probably him and another guy holding like 3 Nintendo Switches, like a flat screen or something crazy like that. Like,
no, that was actually him.
Yeah, I was like, huh, that is an interesting idea.
Yeah. Well, like I said, maybe Chore Wars can be the thing that helps us.
Oh, 100%. I think so.
I think once it becomes less scripted and more genuine, because I have so many just interesting random ideas to challenge you guys with. The first one's going to be great.
Yeah, I can't wait. Especially, you know, it'll be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
In case you're wondering, because we've had one person like, hey, audio podcast, we have figured it out.
Yes.
We did the minimal amount of research that we should have done in the first place.
Yeah. Bit of delay on my part, but you know.
Well, it's fine.
We figured it out.
We'll figure it out. We're going to get it up hopefully before August.
Yeah.
Just because time.
Exactly.
And that'll be a lot of podcasts that'll be available on all those things.
That way you can listen to it, you know, on your commute or doing whatever. Yeah. Like, you know, I work a lot in the morning, so sometimes I've just got 3 hours to kill of time to listen to stuff or whatever.
And we apologize in advance for the audio quality of the first 9 episodes.
Yes.
I
want to apologize personally, not because I did anything wrong technically, but like the difference in quality, as I actually don't feel offended watching the podcast now that they're, you can actually hear them, and it's not just 3 dudes talking to one mic on a camera.
Yeah, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. That's how we started, right? And luckily we didn't keep staying there.
Thank goodness.
Again, thank you guys for watching. We will catch you next time with our videos. Like I said, we're gonna just take a little bit of time off to just focus on getting some more videos
in the can, as we'll call it.
So that way we can just not be behind, but be ahead.
Exactly.
So thank you guys. I've been Frank Joseph Hall.
I am Tyler Spence.
And we will see you next time.
See ya.
Why do you do